Why hello, it's your gal Dimply Bean back at it again with some more, well, that wasn't even a click, there we go, content. Today I wanted to do a slightly different video. I wanted to base a makeup look surrounding a specific product. It's just come out, and that is the Naked Wild West palette by Urban Decay. When I saw this, I thought, ooh, this is right up my alley. I'm not gonna lie, it is mostly for the packaging. As you guys know, I am a sucker for cute packaging, and I'm also a sucker for this kind of thing. The only downside that I find is that it's reflective, so you guys can see the camera right now. It's really not doing it justice, but it's like a shimmery, scaled effect underneath the plastic. I don't know whether that's Wild West. Oh, I suppose like snakeskin boots is like Wild Westy. Not a lie, I don't know much about the Wild West. I watched a lot of cowboy films as a kid with my gramps. I didn't notice what kind of boots they were wearing. Let me just show you a little bit of it here. Ooh, so pretty. You can see my face. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's actually shut up and get on with the video. First step, I am going to be applying my e.l.f. Soothing Face Primer. I'm just gonna apply one pump to the back of my hand. When I first bought it, I thought it was gonna come out blue because of the packaging, and then it came out white, and I was like, not gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed. I kind of like things when they're different colors. I don't know why, it's like something in my brain's like, ooh. So when it just comes out as like a plain white, when I was clearly expecting blue, e.l.f., what you doing? Oh, that's another thing that I always hate about pump application things is you always get like a little crusty spot when you first like pump it out. Gross. And just rubbing it in. So I'm gonna try something with my beauty blender because I bought these ordinary foundations like not too long ago. This one's the full coverage one. I also bought their serum one. When I first bought these was like, you can never use a beauty blender with them. But I've yet to actually try that out because it is quite liquidy. Like you can see it running. So I always thought that using a beauty blender would just cause it to like soak up into the blender, but we'll see. Oh, it's not too bad. Well, what do you know? It actually works. I still feel like this is soaking up quite a lot of it. I'm gonna use so much of the product, which is wasteful. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I'm using the Maybelline Instant Anti-Age Eraser Concealer. I'm gonna apply this in upwards motions on my eye. I don't know why I've never thought of this before. It's only when I saw this like short snippet that I think was taken from TikTok where this girl was showing the difference between doing your concealer in an upwards motion compared to like doing like triangles or like things like that. So I've started doing my concealer like that, and then obviously a little bit on my nose, sides of my mouth, that kind of thing. But then also I started doing a bit down my jawline as well. Maybe it's too much, I don't know. I also don't care. Okay, moving on to the next step. I'm gonna use the Bare Minerals Powder Foundation. Now I know I'm already applied foundation, so this is me doubling up on foundation. Applying it with my favorite fluffy brush that you've seen multiple times on this channel. For those wondering where I got these brushes, they are actually Tarte. The name of it's like Flamingo or something like that. I don't know, they're getting a little bit battered now. I've had them for a good couple of years. I still really like them. I like how they feel. They're quite heavy. They haven't split. Let me show you. I bought these not too long ago. They're Luxie brushes. And I thought that these were decent until the wood on them started splitting, which is very upsetting. And I've had these for like, I want to say 3 months, and I washed them the same way that I've washed all of my brushes ever. And I've bought wooden handled brushes before and they've been fine. They haven't split like this. It just irritates me because I spent a decent amount of money on them and now I'm gonna have to throw them away. I feel like my entire channel is just turning into Bean rants. What is Bean gonna rant about next? She's gonna rant about makeup brushes. She's gonna rant about the makeup industry. She's gonna rant about, I don't know, what do you reckon the next thing's gonna be? Cheese? I actually have nothing to rant about with cheese because cheese is amazing. The main reason why I could never be vegan is because I love dairy too much. I like cheese, I like milk, I like cream, I like, what are the dairies? Chocolate. I love chocolate. Well, moving on, what is the next thing I was gonna do? Oh yeah, blush. So I got my blush right here. It is the L'Oreal Life's a Peach blush, the slanty blush one. And I'm just gonna fluff it on the thing, give it a tap, and apply it to my upper cheekbone right here. I'm just gonna fluff a little bit on my nose as well, and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. What was I doing? I feel like this is gonna be the end of every step. I'm just like, right, where am I? Oh yes, I bought something new, and that is the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro Palette. Palette Professionnelle Lumière et Contour. My français is shit. Okay. This shade here to bronze, and then the accompanying highlight shade right here. I don't think the actual shades are supposed to match that way. In my mind, it does. I've learned now to kind of like spread it into all the places first, and then kind of go over it and just bloof it out. You don't want there to be too much product in one place, so it's good to just like boop, 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 place it and then blend it out. This one right here with my fan-shaped brush. I'm gonna apply that to the same place that I put my blush, so my upper cheekbone right here. Let's move on to the eye makeup. I'm just gonna quickly switch lenses on you so you can get a closer look of my face. There you go. You're much closer to my face than you ever wanted to be. First of all, we're gonna do our brows. Now, as you can see, my brows desperately need plucking, but we're gonna pretend that that isn't the case. So taking my e.l.f. brow kit. Whoop, I'm not gonna use too much of the powder. I'm just gonna mostly use the waxy one here. Right, the eyebrows are done. Let's move straight on to the eye makeup. I'm first of all gonna just take the corners of my eye. I do this quite often when I'm trying to create straight lines. And rather than going straight from the corner like that, I'm gonna do a little bit further down. I'm gonna go from there. And I'm taking my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I actually owned a tube of this many years ago, and I swear that it's much smaller than it used to be. And also I'm noticing it's a wand now, which it never used to be either. I swear it was like a little tube. Honestly, I don't think I'm behind this whole wand idea. I feel like I'm gonna end up just squeezing it out of here anyway, just to get those last dregs. I feel like the formula has very much changed from what it used to be. Feels like it's watered down. Maybe I've gotten a bad batch or something, but I'm not particularly a fan of this. On to the actual fun stuff. I'm gonna start off with the shade Ghost Town. So I did one swipe and all of this came off. Does anybody have this where on their eye there's like a specific spot that never wants to pick up makeup? It's like I'll go over this little bit here over and over again and it'll just be like, nah. I'm gonna go in with the shade Whiskey, just sort of darken my crease a little bit, doing small circular motions to blend it out with that terracotta kind of color. I'm gonna go in with the shade Pony Up, and I'm gonna focus on this lower outer corner. I'm now going to move on to this colour here called Tex, and I'm going to apply it to this middle region here. So mysterious, so gloomy. I just almost poked myself in the eye. I'm going to go in with this colour here called Laredo. Apply that to the inner area. I'm going to apply Spur next. I'm very much liking Spur next to the Tex colour. I think that's quite a cool contrast. Next I'm going to take this nudie shade right here and applying it to my lower inner corner. So this is probably the first colour where I'm like, not really needed. I think I would have probably preferred another purple as opposed to that one. Perhaps like a dark purple would have been nice. I'm gonna take the colour Standoff right here and apply it to my brow bone. Okay, well we're done with all the matte shades. Let's move on to some sparkle. I'm gonna take this sparkly colour here called Rustler and I'm gonna apply this to the outer area just here. I'm gonna move on to this colour here called Bud, and I'm going to apply this to the center of my eye, like in this stripe right here. Oh, I'm liking that. Now I'm going to take this sparkly boy right here called Cowboy Rick, and I'm going to apply this next to the color that we just did. And then the final one, I'm going to apply this Hold'em, and I'm going to pop that in my inner eye corner. Let's peel this off. I feel like that bit there needs a little bit of blending. Oh. The last step is the lips. So I'm using the 3CE Style Nanda lip color in Brilliant. I feel like this shade is really bigging itself up already. I'm going to use my Glossier lip gloss in Holographic, which I immediately disagree with because this is not hollow sparkle. No. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger so as not to contaminate the brush with a different lip color. I'm gonna set my face so then I can keep this on for a little bit longer, and I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. Similarly to the eye primer, I also owned this a long time ago, and the packaging has most certainly changed. In particular, this whole cap business. We've got a cap and then we've got another cap. Why? To me, this just screams plastic waste. In fact, it actually kind of makes me a little bit angry that they've double capped it for some reason. Make sure it works. And just spray it on my face. So to give a final review of the Naked, I almost dropped it, the Naked Wild West palette, I would honestly give it a pretty high score. I would say it's a 7 out of 10, which is honestly not too bad. The pigmentation is pretty darn good on most of the shades. I would say that the sparkle shades are a little bit lacking in this. I think they could do better. Out of the 4 sparkle shades here, the top one is definitely the Bud, whereas the other ones are a little bit too subtle for my liking. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt of that, because the whole idea of these palettes is it's supposed to be subtle, which I've obviously not done. I wanted to use all the colors, so what do you know? I would say that the color range is quite nice as well. My argument would be that I would prefer another purple shade. It's like there's almost one missing off the end here, and I think that the color Nudie could arguably be ignored and gotten rid of, and we could have done with another dark shade down here. Would have also been nice if we had like a purpley sparkle shade as well, just to kind of counteract the Bud sparkle shade. But that's just me painting my ideal palette. Arguably, because this is a Naked palette, I can understand why they didn't want to throw too many sparkle shades in there, because sparkly is not Naked, it's not natural, it's not If we're going to be nitpicking on the packaging, I would say that the back could be a little bit more jazzy. They could have maybe done a little bit more of this beautiful print on the back. That I would also argue that they could have done with putting the gold underneath the glass, because although it looks very nice now, I reckon after a good few uses and a good number of times of me putting it back into my storage and then taking it back out again, this will start to get scratched away, which is unfortunate because it is such a pretty cover. It's going to be quite disappointing when this starts to scratch away. But overall, nice palette. I would say worth my money. As always, if you like this video, then don't forget to hit that like button. If you would like to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button. If you want to make a comment on this, maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't, I don't know, just tell me down in the comments. I would love to know what you guys think. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a lovely week, and I will see you all next Saturday. Bye!